Hi, good morning. Today, in this segment, I would like to discuss about interdependence. In other words, relational inclusion. We all become brothers and sisters, as St. Francis of Assisi puts it in the Canticle of the Sun: brother sun, sister moon, brother wind, sister water, brother fire, mother, sister earth, brother wolf, and sister lamb. It's all relational inclusion. We become one family. We are interdependent. So today I would like to discuss the ecological perspective of interdependence. The phrase "we are all connected" comes to mind not as sentimental statement, but an ecological truism. Living things rarely exist in isolation. They usually depend on other organisms for many things. Biologically, the interdependence extends further and is particularly noticeable among plants and animals. The interdependence of plants and animals have evolved over millions of years and changed drastically many times. Plants are able to make their own food, but they need the sun's energy. Plants give off oxygen. Animals, including humans, breathe in the oxygen and give off carbon dioxide, which the plants require for photosynthesis. Plants depend on the waste and decomposed bodies of animals and other organic material to provide nutrient minerals for use in photosynthesis. Flowering plants depend on bees, birds, and mammals to aid them in reproduction by spreading pollen or dispersing seeds. Herbivores depend on plants for food, and carnivores depend on herbivores for food. Ecosystems are great networks of interdependence. In some cases, interdependence can be seen microscopically. For example, the bacteria in our stomach assist our digestion even as we provide them with a home. Lichen, which appears to be a single primitive plant, is actually an organism consisting of an alga and a fungus living in a state of close association called symbiosis. Every day, a dynamic interplay between living and the non-living things takes place. Sunlight shines, rain falls, wind blows, trees grow, insects eat, mice scurry, birds fly, and humans go about their lives. These and many other interactions between living things and the environment are known as ecology. All living things on earth are connected by water, air, and other materials that circulate from one part of the globe to another. But because Earth's environments vary so vastly, certain living things thrive in particular regions and not in others. Each species has its own ecological role to play. Relationships between living and non-living things are not static. When resources are abundant, populations expand. When natural disasters strike, space for new life is created. Life constantly responds and adjusts to change. For example, African baobab tree serves as a habitat for dozens of animals, each occupying a different niche in the giant tree. Bush babies, tree frogs, snakes, lizards, parrots, scorpions, spiders, insects, monkeys, and squirrels all live on the same tree at once. A hornbill, the bird, lays eggs in one cavity in the huge tree's trunk, an owl in another, while a stork makes their nest from sticks on an outer branch. The baobab's flowers are pollinated by fruit bats and bush babies. Elephants and baboons eat the fruit. Giraffe nibble on the leaves. Geckos hide in the folds and crevices of the spongy wood. Pools of water collected in depressions where the great branches come together, become reservoirs for animals as surely as watering holes on the savannah below. The ability of an ancient baobab to provide niches for so many creatures has given it a reputation as the original tree of life. The Buddhists call this phenomenon codependent rising. Codependent arising. When sun rises, green shoots appear, leaves unfold, flowers bud, and fruit is formed. With the sun, birds rise. With the sun, people rise. All rise together. Everyone's rising depends on everyone else's rising. When Buddha understood this, he was enlightened and attained nirvana, a state of liberation. But he said that there can be no nirvana for one person until all beings are enlightened. We rise and fall together. Ultimately, we all sink or swim together. We are interbeings. To be is to interbe. We cannot be by ourselves alone. This means our being is only possible because of other beings. We are not individual beings. We are world beings. In parts of Africa, there is a word called Umbutu, meaning we are. There is no such thing as I am, nor it is. Always we are. We are a web of relationships. It does not just refer to humanity. It means the whole of existence together, interlinked, totally connected. Anthropocentrism has dismissed any notion of interdependence. On the one hand, Homo economicus, that is, economic man, dear to neoliberal economists, is an under-socialized loner concerned only with maximizing his or her own preferences in order to become better off. He thinks about only man and no creation. Economic man is like Hollywood actor Clint Eastwood, the cowboy, riding into a town from nowhere, doing what he feels a man's got to do before cantering into the sunset, unaffected by his recent relationships and indifferent to how he has affected the township. On the other hand, Homo sociologicus, that is more familiar as organization man, is over socialized. Everything is about him is a gift of society. Whether this makes him a creature of social norms or a playful postmodernist, he is a creature of his circumstances, a born relativist sharing nothing with the universal family of humankind and cosmic family of nature, and thus incapable of solidarity and kinship with it. Because Homo economicus is anthropocentric and Homo sociologicus is sociocentric. There is no place in either for transcendence or interdependence. 17th century English poet John Donne spoke for humanity when he wrote, "No man is an island." Outside creation, isolating himself, man can never find his existence. Anthropocentrism is isolation. Pope Benedict XVI, in his encyclical Caritas in Veritate, states that one of the deepest forms of poverty a person can experience is isolation. It is what St. Augustine meant by "our hearts are restless" until we realize the relationships that divine revelation offers us with Father, Mother, brother, friends, land, water, air, and with the rest of creation. What Caritas in Veritate invites us to do is to sanctify every human encounter with fraternity and to extend this to the whole of creation, making it one cosmic family through relational inclusion. Interdependence can initiate a process of co-evolution between humans and the natural world. Two different species can develop tightly linked lifestyles and changes in the other. Co-evolution is a term for this interdependent living. A well-known example of coevolution is the relationship between honeybees and flowers. Coevolution is an evolutionary success story that has brought us to where we are today. In coevolution, we find our food, find our medicines, find our animals, find our plants, and find our relationships. We find our cosmic family. In this process, there is no hierarchy at all. We are all equal partners, brothers and sisters. That is what interdependence is all about. Thank you.